Shalom to my brothers and sisters who are in the body of Yahushua HaMashiach. And this is a continuation of Yahuwah's calendar. This is part 20. And this is very exciting because here are two strong pieces of evidence that will prove there is a 13th month. This is also written in the book of 1st and 2nd Enoch, also in the book of Jubilees, chapter 6, as well as in the book of Ezekiel, chapters 1 through 8 will prove it as well. But here is something that you can do. Remember, in most of my videos, I would say you need to keep a record of the lunar and solar calendar. And what it means is keep a record of the lunar year and of the solar year. And here's a perfect example. This year, as you can see in March-April 2016, we had a 13th month. And I know some of my brothers and sisters do not honor a 13th month. We also had the equinox, spring equinox, to fall on the 11th day of Adar. Notice how the moon came in 11 days too early. Now, in my prior videos, I talk about the seasons and give a deep explanation of how by the moon coming in too early in the seasons will fulfill the prophecy in Jubilees chapter 6. And what it says that it comes in 10 days too soon. Now, what you see on the calendar is the roundup. In other words, the exact time, hour, and minute that the moon came in too early was 10 days, 15 hours, and 14 minutes. Now, for those who did not watch the part of videos, this is where I got this information from. I looked up the solar year, which also known as the tropical year, for 2015 through 2016. And I got a total of 365 days, 5 hours, 44 minutes, and 56 seconds. Then on timeanddate.com, I also looked up under the lunar phases, you can see the amount of lunar time per month. And I added all of them up from 2015 to 2016. Now I did it for up to the 12th month as well as for the 13th month. For the 12th month, I got 354 days, 14 hours, and 30 minutes. So this is what I did further. I took each 12th month and I did a subtraction. And I got a total of 10 days, 15 hours, and 14 minutes. So that prophecy was fulfilled in Jubilees chapter 6 about the moon coming in 10 days too soon. But here's the proof that you can do with your own eyes. Those who did not keep the 13th month and has March, April as their first month, this is what's going to happen. In 3 years' time, the moon will be about 30 to 33 days behind the sun. So in other words, your first month is going to start in the 12th month, which will fall in February and March. Now from those 3 years, in the next 2 years, which is the 5th year, the moon will be behind. Let me think. It's about 50 days, or 55 days. So you're going to be looking at your first of the month in the 5th year to start in either the 11th month, or it can be in the 10th month. Now, do you see where I'm going with this? What is going to happen is that your moon going to be out of season. Your first month the first month of the lunar year will be out of season. Because ask yourself this: how many days are in a lunar year? It's only about 354 or 355 days. And how many days are in the solar year? The solar year has about 365 days or 366. So you see, the moon is short about 6 or 7 days when you do the subtraction. So each year your moon will be starting early. That first month of that lunar year will be coming early and earlier. So by your third year, again, as you can see, you have started for you who don't keep the 13th month, you have started your year in March and April. But what's going to happen in the next 3 years, you're going to end up being in the 12th month, or it could fall in the 11th month because, of the calculations and the versus the actual day. So you get about 30 or 33 days. So you're going to see a big difference, and you're going to find that you're out of season. So this is why it's so important to understand the solar year, how to also to understand about the equinox and the solstice, because you want to make sure that your lunar year starts in the right season. Now, the next test you can do to determine if there should be a 13th month, look at your equinox. The spring equinox is the last day of the solar year. It's also the last day of winter. So you need to ask yourself this: should my new moon, or the first month of the new moon, start before the solar year or after the solar year? Think about it now. If the moon supposed to be behind the sun, it can't start before the solar year. It can only start with the solar year or after the solar year. So because we have a 13th month, this is why you will see us not being in line with each other. And I'm trying to, here it go. So right now it may seem like we are out of place because with our month of bid, we start in April, May. Ziv start in May, June. And Ziv start in June, July. Our 4th month started in July, August. Our 5th month started in August, September. And then our September, November will start for the 6th month. So it may seem like we are behind, but we're not. What is happening is that we are becoming in line with the season. So this concludes for this video, but click on the next video to understand how does the Most High calendar relates to agriculture, because agriculture is another thing you can use to confirm his calendar. For if you notice, the things in the heavens work with agriculture. Shalom.